When I think about how the devil, approached Jesus when he was on the earth to, get him to flip, he was appealing to that narcissistic thing that he had in his fault. But he couldn't find that. He couldn't find that commonality in Jesus Christ, even though he was man. And he could have succumbed to temptation. You know what I mean? If he was weak, But imagine this. This is what I was thinking about. It's like sometimes, it's not even sometimes. I know, like, I'm more concerned for people in my life than they're concerned about what's going on in their life. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm more concerned for people, and I've got my own stuff to deal with. I'm more concerned for them because I know the truth and I know what's about to happen, and they're just like, pretending they, just ignore it, just ignore it. It'll go away, But imagine, being a man, you're kind of designed, to be toxic, like toxic masculinity. You're designed to protect weaker people, women, children. It's just in your DNA. So imagine me like protecting somebody like Christ protected all of us from hell, and be willing to go, yeah, I'll grab that guy with the knife or whatever, but he probably isn't going to appreciate it tomorrow or a week from now. He's probably going to just say, I probably was going to end up getting out of that okay, or you're going to save somebody from drowning. Like, I rescued a kid from drowning once, okay? And, not that I'm hoping to get, like, Christmas cards every year, but he really wasn't that appreciative of it. He didn't realize that a minute ago he was dead. You know what I mean? So imagine putting yourself on the cross, getting such a beating, and I believe this to be the truth, that they beat him so bad that they were trying to get him to not get to the cross. That's how bad they beat him. You know what I mean? Like, they beat him all day, on that 10-minute walk. They're beating him for 45 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, legitimately, it was way worse than that. But, imagine dying for all these people and knowing, being God, that they're going to care, and there's going to be a church, and there's going to be people, but when it comes to sink or swim time, okay, where we're at right now, man, I don't want to embarrass myself. Do you know what I mean? Like, my neighbors on my Facebook, they might see that I, believe in this magical Disney creation of a God and, blah, blah, blah. But imagine dying brutally, murdered, stuck, my joints have been really bothering me, man, and it feels like I shattered the inside of the bone inside my bicep, and I could only imagine what them nails felt like, just crushing the skin and the cartilage and all the tendons and all that stuff. Hi-yi-yi. And just knowing because that people really aren't going to even appreciate this. People aren't really going to take you up on this. It's easy to do, when it's nice outside and everything's okay, and, you're having lemon squares with, hot chocolate, and, you got like little wine and cheese trays at your house, and a servant comes up and, but when now is the time, and I don't know, man, I just think about eternity, I just think about eternity, and I just think about, like, man, how did one day I just end up on earth? I didn't create myself, I didn't create myself. Somebody put me in the game, and this is the game we're in, and it's like, and then I'm like unfamiliarizing myself for, I'm leaving here. Like, I'm legitimately, like, making plans, like, as a human would, that don't get too attached to this. You're going to be leaving this. One way or another, you're going to be leaving this. You know what I mean? Like, whatever's coming next, you're going to be going there, This isn't, don't worry about the lock in the gate that's all rusty. It's not going to matter in another couple weeks. You know what I mean? Or whatever. It's like I'm preparing this fabric, like the movie screen that's my life. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it going, I'm going on to the next board. And I just feel like such like gratitude, you know, like, I feel like beyond, like, I can't even like explain it in words, especially if you know my testimony, that how did I, the most unluckiest person to ever live, end up that Jesus Christ saved me and completely changed my life, saved my life, rescued me from everything that I've gone through, that there was not a chance of doing it alone. But, you know, what did I do? You know, and then I just thought about it. I was like, well, you got desperate enough for him, and you got sincere, and you kept it real with him, and you just said to him what you needed to say. God, do whatever you can, okay? Whatever you can. You're the only one that can do it. And when I see what's going on today, and I talk to people, they're not really like too, you know, they're not really too concerned about any of this, you know? They're not concerned about it. You know, they think, I don't know. You know, that's part of the fallen nature. That's part of the spirit of slumber and all that stuff. I don't know. But I'm just telling you, like, it's sad. Like, I think about, what did I do to deserve this? Because I don't deserve it. You know what I mean? And how can I, you know, like, the people that you love that are in your life, you know, even the people you can't stand, you know, just being a human, I would want people to know, you know? I would want people to know, hey man, this is all you got to do. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. People make it so complicated. It's not even that hard. But what's hard is, after you've accepted him and you're living for him, supposedly, the real power comes when you start sharing him. I used to cringe, man, when people used to say, oh, I'll pray for you. I'd go, you know, out in public. I'd be like, yeah, that's fine. Do it when you get home. You're good. You know? I used to, come on, man. Right now in Denny's, I want to go out with this girl here. You know what I mean? The girl that's waiting on us, I think she's hot. She's going to think I'm a nerd now because of you. You know? Here, give me your hand. Come on, man. That's enough. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? You know? Pretty soon we'll be knocking on doors. The real power came when I acknowledged it publicly. You know? First couple times I said, you know, Jesus Christ, other than when I stubbed my toe, people just really didn't, you know, seem to, it wasn't that big of a deal. When I started talking about God in my life, you'd be surprised. People really, some care, some don't want to hear it, some are just polite. But, you know, yeah, you're going to reach a little bit of, you know, whatever. But the people that need to hear it from you. And they need to hear it now. You know what I mean? They need to hear it now. You know? Like, you know, I wish I could save people myself. I can't. You know, and I'll just be honest with you. It, you know, it bums me out. You know, it really bums me out. I'm more concerned, you know, if I could do anything to make this happen for you, I would have done it, you know, and not even told you about it. I would have done it, and I wouldn't even have told you about it, you know. But it's like, we've just got this, it's like, I don't know what people think I don't know if people think they're like fooling God, you know. I just don't understand it. Like, I just don't know who people think they're fooling. Like, people just like, you know, I mean, you've got all this stuff going on. They're trying to corrupt your DNA and everything. And you got Christians going, no, my mom's a Christian. She got the shot, and she, you know, she's still saved. I highly doubt it, you know, because that's the only, like, it's like a background check. That's the only check that, yeah, we can know, like, the proof and the fruits, and we can kind of see where people are at, and they can talk like me. It doesn't mean that they're saved, but you'll see something in that person, you know? You'll see something in that person. And when I try to tell people, why ain't I seeing anything in you? And why do you never, if the Lord was working in your life and we're alone and you can't even mention him, then he's probably not in your life. And then you're going to run into these people like my mom, you know, who they know everything about the Bible. They know, I mean, they can, you know, they just have it memorized, but they don't know Jesus Christ, and they don't know the Spirit, you know, they're not filled with the Holy Spirit, you know, they're not filled. It's like I had a guy tell me that we live in a reflection off the moon, but we actually live in a crater on the moon. He goes, bro, we live in a crater on the moon. I said, man, I don't really think you need the Holy Spirit for this, but I could just tell you that doesn't check out. You know, right now, I just use my dial-up Wi-Fi to the Holy Spirit. Yeah, that's not true. That's what it is. It's a spirit of truth. A spirit of truth ain't gonna let you roll up your sleeve and do your part and put murdered babies into your arms. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, I worry about people. It's extremely frustrating. And I just don't know how, well, I do know how people have all this energy to do what they're doing. It's because they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? They're not doing what they're supposed. I mean, listen, it's not a big deal. It's just eternity. What do I care? You know what I mean? You're not going to have to deal with me anyways. You know what I mean? Obviously, the way things are going. But if you can't mention Jesus Christ in a meme, on a bumper sticker you post on Facebook, I'm not saying you got to be one of these people that says, oh, copy and paste this if you believe in God, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm just saying, like, don't be afraid to tell people about what he's done for you. You know, has he done anything for you? Is there any fruit in your life that there is something legitimately, you know, or maybe you need to recommit your life to Christ. I don't know. But, you know, I'm just telling you, you're going to be looking like Mark Zuckerberg at a birthday party, okay, all alone and being weird, you know, probably eating the wax on the candles, you know, what kind of weirdo he is. All right.